Okay, so in the last class I started with trees. So I already gave you the definition of a tree. So what is a tree? Any connected acyclic graph is called a tree. That means any graph which is connected and does not contain any cycles is called a tree. Right? So there are many properties of tree that I am going to prove today, or which already explained in the last class. So what we are doing, we are talking about the properties of a tree. So one by one we'll do all the theorems. So the first theorem is this. Now, because every tree is connected, so there will exist a path from any vertex to any other vertex, right? So the theorem says that in a tree the path must be unique. There cannot exist two paths from one vertex to some another vertex. Each path is unique. Okay, so the theorem is this. Let, good morning, let u and v be two vertices of a tree. Suppose I'm naming the tree as T. Then there exists only one path from U to V. So you choose any two vertex of the tree, there will exist only one path from U to the vertex V. Now the idea of the proof is very simple. Let me first sketch the proof. See, first you try to understand the proof and then you have to write, okay? And graph theory, first you understand the proof and then you basically write them down in terms of words, okay? Now, how do we start? We'll start with contradiction. That means let's suppose that there exist two paths from U to V. Suppose you have two vertex U and V. Okay. Suppose there are two paths from U to V. Suppose there are two paths. Now two things may happen. Two paths are disjoint. That means two paths do not have any vertex or any edges common. So the paths will be like this. One path, suppose this, and we are reaching V. Another path is this, and they do not have any intersection. Now this is a contradiction because if I take this path along with this path, this is a cycle. If I just adjoin both the paths, that means I'll take U to V, this path, and I'll take this path, and that will give a cycle. So if the two paths are disjoint, that means they do not have any vertex in common other than U and V, then this will form a cycle leading to the contradiction that T is a tree, because T should not have any cycles. Okay. Now another thing, when U and V, this is UV, and there exist two paths. So one path is suppose this, another path is suppose this. So both the paths intersect this time at least at one point. As you can see, at least at one vertex. That means both the paths has one vertex common other than U and V. Then also it is not possible. Again it is a contradiction. Why? Suppose this vertex is W. So this U to W path and W to U path will together form a cycle. Again leading to the contradiction that T is a tree. And this is the whole idea of the proof. Whatever I explained here, I will write exactly the same things. Okay, so let me write it down. Proof. The proof starts from here. This was just the sketch to understand the proof. The proof will start from here. So the one more thing they are doing, if U equals to V, that means if both the vertex are same, then that is a trivial path. You know, even a path containing single vertex is actually a path. Okay, if u equals to v, then the result is trivial. Then the result is trivial. Okay, this is a very trivial result. Obvious, because when u and v are not different, they are just same. Then if I consider this path containing just single u, this will definitely be a path and that is unique. Okay, now let us assume that if u and v are not equal. So suppose this case, u and v are not equal. Suppose that u and v are distinct vertices. Okay. So because they two belong to a tree and tree is connected, so there will exist paths, right? So let me write it down. Because the existence of path is guaranteed by the tree being a tree. Okay, not every graph will have path. If you take a disconnected graph, then there may not exist a path between u and v. But because t is a tree, the existence of path is guaranteed. So because t is a connected graph, there is at least one path from u to v. So because T is a connected graph, so there will exist at least one path from u to v. So how will I start? I'll start now by assuming that there are two distinct vertices, or two distinct paths. So suppose that there are distinct paths P1. So let me write P, distinct paths P. So P is like this. It will start with U. Suppose it is taking the vertices U1, U2, dot, UT, okay, comma, V. I'm not writing the edges, okay, and suppose Q, and Q is this path. It is again starting with U and ending at V. And suppose I'm naming the vertices this time V1, V2, dot, Vs, because remember one thing, the length of this path may not be same as length of this path. So I'm using different T and different S. So V. So what I'm assuming, the paths are like this: U1, U2, dot, UT, comma V, and U to V, and then V1, V2, dot, Vs. Okay. Distinct paths P and Q from U to V. So I have this scenario. This is the path P. This is the path Q. This is the path P. This is the path Q. They may have some common vertex, or they may not have some common vertex. We will deal with these cases one by one. Okay. So case 1, when they are distinct, right? So case 1, what I am assuming that this part, see, U and V are always common. Okay, so this is your U1, this is your U2, this is your U3, and so on, and this is your US, and this is your V1, this is your V2, dot, this is your VT. Sorry, ulta maine likha, this is UT and this is VS. Okay. So what I'll assume that these vertices, this interior vertices other than U and V, they are all distinct. You see, there is no match in between them. So let us assume that. So case 1, when this one U1, U2, dot, UT, this set intersection, this set is actually empty. That means the two paths are disjoint. They do not have any vertex in common except the first and the last vertex. Okay. So then you know these two will together form a cycle. So that's exactly what I'll write. Then the path then the path P followed by Q, that is, so I am I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'll write whole thing. U2, U1, U2, UT, comma V, and then I am taking this way. So V and then VS, V2, V1, U. So what I am doing this. U2, U1, U2, U3 and so on up to V, and then I am going like this. And you can clearly see this is a cycle, right? Then the path P followed by Q, that is this path, forms a cycle from U to U, and this contradicts. Why it contradicts? Because T is a tree, it cannot contain cycle. So if there are two distinct paths which are disjoint, then this will form a cycle. That means tree contains a cycle, which by definition of tree is not possible. So forms a cycle from U to U, which is a contradiction. So there cannot exist two paths which are disjoint from vertex U to vertex V. So now for case 2, we assume that this vertices, this U1, U2, this is this is your US, UT, and this is your V1, V2, this is your VT. I am assuming that this one will intersect somewhere with this one. That means I am assuming that one of the interior vertex is same as one of the interior vertex. At least one. They can intersect more also, but I am assuming that at least they intersect. This intersection is not empty. So let me assume that as the second case. So case number 2. Case number 2. This set U1, U2, UT intersection V1, V2, Vs. This is actually not empty. That means they intersect somewhere. Hence, what can I say? Ui equals to Vj. This one of these vertex will be same as one of these vertex for some I and j. Right. Okay. So let me call that so they can intersect more. Okay, I'm just assuming that the intersection is not empty, so they can intersect at maybe 5 points, 7 points, anything. So I'm just calling that let W be the first vertex where they intersect. For organism, first common vertex, I think that is enough. First common vertex. So let W be the first common vertex other than U and V. Definitely two common vertices is U and V. So other than U and V on the paths P and Q. On the paths P and Q. So the idea is very simple. You see here. So this is the path. This is U. This is V. This is the path P, and this is the path Q. So this is the W is the first common one. There can be many other common one as well. Now it can also be this situation. This is U. This is V. And suppose they intersect here, they intersect here as well. So W is this, another common vertex is this. Anyways, so I'm just interested in this W, the first common one other than U. Then you see, this forms a cycle. So with the help of this path P, the portion of path P, path P from U to W, and the portion of path Q from W to U will form a cycle. So let me write it down. Then the portion of path P from U to W, so this I am talking about, and together with the portion of path Q from W to U forms a cycle from U to U, a contradiction. So both the cases I have covered and both are leading to the contradiction. That means our assumption was wrong, right? Therefore our assumption was wrong. Hence T does not contain two distinct paths between the vertices U and V. So this completes the. So this is the proof. The proof is not that difficult. It's very simple, straightforward. So this theorem has really helped us. It says that in a tree between any two vertices there exists a unique path. There exists a unique path. Okay. So let me go to next characterization of a tree. So another characterization is again very interesting. In a tree, so let me give the name as T. In a tree T with more than one vertex, definitely I am assuming that tree has at least two vertices, not one. Okay, it is more than one. At least with more than one vertex, there are at least two vertices of degree 1. Okay, so what we are claiming is that if you take any tree with, see, if I have just one vertex with this tree, it cannot have any edges because loops are not possible in a tree because that is a simple graph. So we will not talk about this case. But if you have at least two vertices, you can only draw like this, and you can see here the 1 degree vertices are 2. So if you draw more also, if you have more also, then there will be at least two vertices of degree 1. Here I can see 3 vertices of degree 1, but there will be at least 2 guaranteed by this theorem. So let's prove this theorem. So in any tree, you will find at least 2 vertices having degree 1. So again the idea is almost simple. What we do, we will take a tree T. Okay, we have the tree T. So the idea is this: I have some tree T. I will list all the paths from any vertex to any other vertex. I know this paths will be unique, guaranteed by the previous theorem. What I am doing, I am listing all the paths. So this is the suppose path P1, path P2, path P3, and so on. And the number of paths will be finite because number of vertices are finite. Okay, so suppose from any vertex to any other vertices, so you are picking 2 vertices at a time, finding the path. The path is unique, I am naming the paths. So I have this many paths possible, suppose in the tree. This will definitely be finite because number of vertices is finite. Okay, this is the path. Among all these paths, I will choose the one which has the highest length. Okay, that means which has more number of edges, most number of edges. So among these paths, I'll be choosing the one which has got more number of edges. Suppose I'm calling that as P. So I'm assuming that P has maximum number of edges. It is the largest among them. So P is supposed it starts from U and ends at V. I'm assuming that P starts from U and ends at V, and that is the largest one possible. I'll prove that degree of U is 1 and degree of V is 1. So this is the idea of the proof. How will I prove degree of U is 1 and degree of V is 1? I'll tell you a bit later. So this is the idea. So let's start. Okay. So let me write all those things which I mentioned here. So since T is connected, I can talk about paths. Okay. Since T is connected by definition of a tree with at least two vertices, so there is a path with at least two distinct vertices. So I can talk about distinct paths, and paths have more than two vertices, okay? Because there are at least two vertices, so one path will definitely exist whose end vertex and this starting vertex are different. So since T is connected with at least two vertices, there is a path with at least two distinct vertices. Okay, good enough. Because the number of vertices and the number of edges are all finite, so because the number of vertices and the number of edges are all finite, the number of paths will also be finite. I'll write that, okay? Are all finite, so what can I say? The number of paths in T is also finite. So you can, if I collect all the paths in some set, then that collection will be a finite collection. Okay. So finiteness is very important here. So as already mentioned, among this listing of paths which is finite, I can find the one which has got maximum number of edges, that is the length is maximum. Let me give that a name. Let me call that path as P. So thus we can find a path. Thus we can find a path P of maximal length. So there may exist two paths of equal length. So we are choosing one of them. Okay, so we can, that is the reason we can find a path P. There can be more also. Okay, we can find a path P of maximal length. Okay. So this is the one which has got maximum number of edges. So this being a path, it will start from some vertex U and end at some vertex U. So let me write it down. So suppose path P is, suppose path P is from vertex U to vertex B. So what was our aim? Our aim was to prove that the degree of at least two vertices will be 1. So we show that degree of U is same as degree of V and both are equal to 1. This is our aim. So you choose the largest path possible and that will start and end at some vertex, and I'll prove that this one and this one will both have degree 1 always. So if in a tree you want to find vertices having degree 1, you choose the largest path possible and the n vertices of the largest path will have degree 1. I'll prove it. We show that this degree U and degree V is 1. So do you want to ask anything up to here? So again, see the idea. How will I prove that degree of U is same as degree of V and both are equal to 1? How will I do it? Try to understand this is the sketch. Suppose I have path P. It starts from U, ends at V. Some edges, this is U1, suppose this is U1, this is U2, this is U3, dot. This is UN, suppose, and this is V. This is or suppose UK. So this is the edge E1, this is the edge E2, this is the edge E3, this is the edge EK plus 1. Okay, they are taking up to K minus 1. Okay, doesn't matter. Let me write here then UK minus 1. So this is the edge, how much? EK, right? Or EK minus 1. Just hold on. So yeah, EK minus 1. So suppose this is the path P from U to V. That means path P is this. I'll write it down. So let's suppose that degree of V is not 1. I want to prove the degree of V is 1. Let's assume the contradiction. Suppose that degree of V is not 1. That means there is some edge other than EK minus 1 incident to VK. Suppose I am calling that as EK and these two are not same. Okay. So where is the n vertex of this edge EK? There is a question mark. So I am assuming that suppose degree of V is not 1, that means degree of V is at least 2. So one edge I can see here, there will be another edge incident to V. Suppose I am calling that edge as EK. Now the question is, where is the n vertex of EK? Another n vertex. One n vertex is at V, which is the another n vertex. So if you take the n vertex to be any of these vertices, that will lead to a contradiction because that will form a cycle there. Suppose the n vertex of EK is U2, then can you see if I start with U2 this way and this will be connected to U2 again and that will form a cycle. Did you understand my point? Again I am repeating the whole fact. Suppose that degree of V is not 1, it is at least 2. So there will be two vertices adjacent to V. One you can see is EK and EK minus 1. Another I am calling this as EK. So one n vertices or one n point of EK is V. I am interested to know what is the another n point. So my claim is another n point cannot be these U1, U2, U3 and so on, because if another n vertex of EK is one of them, then it forms a cycle. Suppose one n vertex of EK is U2. So if I start with U2, reach up to V, then take EK and then go to V2 again, U2 again, and that forms a cycle, which is a contradiction that T is a tree. So what I have known now, that another endpoint of EK is neither U1 nor U2 nor U3 and nor UK minus 1. It will be some another vertex, suppose UK. This is not same as any of these. and this is a contradiction because I have got a path of length more than p. This was the path p up to here, and I am assuming that this is the largest path possible in T, but what I have seen that this path up to here is larger than P. It has got more length than P, which is a contradiction. So did you understand the proof or sketch? So whatever I said here, I will exactly write that down. So suppose degree of V is not 1, that means it is more than 1. Let P be the path. So P be the path. This P equals to, it starts from U. So let me call this U as V1, suppose. Then some edges there, E1. Okay, they have changed the notation, doesn't matter. They are saying this as V1, this is V2, and so on. You may just change some notation, doesn't matter. So V1, E1, V2, E2, dot dot dot. So Vk minus 1, comma Ek minus 1, and the last one is V. V is equal to Vk, you may assume. Okay. So this is the path of length k minus 1 because there are k minus 1 edges. So because degree of V, see, degree of V cannot be 0. You might say that, sir, degree not equals to 1 means degree of V is 0 also. But degree of V cannot be 0 because that will mean that one of the vertex is isolated, so the graph is not connected, so cannot be a tree. So degree of V cannot be 0, cannot be 1, that means it is more than 1, it is at least 2. So because degree of V is greater or equal to 2, there exists an edge Ek. So there exists an edge Ek, as you can see here, with V as an n vertex such that Ek is not same as Ek minus 1. So these two are distinct. My claim is that definitely this must be distinct. Okay. Because I am assuming that degree of V is at least 2. So 1 degree is here, another degree will be added by this. So there exists an edge Ek with V as an n vertex such that Ek is not equal to Ek minus 1. So as already said, we are now interested to find the another n vertex of Ek. Okay. So because T has no loops, I know by definition of a tree it cannot contain loops. The other n vertex of Ek cannot be V. So we are finding the n vertex of Ek, another n vertex. So I know it cannot form a loop here. That will again contradict that is the tree. So because T has no loops, the another n vertex of Ek cannot be V only. V, okay. So this cannot go like this. So again there is a question mark, what will be that? So let's assume that another n vertex is one of them. Okay, let's assume that another one vertex is one of them, and that will lead to a contradiction forming a cycle. Okay, suppose, yeah. So suppose another n vertex of Ek is, suppose I am giving this a new name, another n vertex I am giving it a new name, another n vertex is Vk. Okay, so just a name. This is just a name. I'm assuming that another n vertex of the vertex ek is vk. So we are interested to know, is vk one of these vertices or it is completely different. So we'll do it one by one. So suppose that this vk is same as one of this. So suppose vk equals to vi. So vk, I'm saying this is vi for some i equals to 1, 2, dot, 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 up to k minus 1. So I'm assuming that suppose the another n vertex, I'm naming it by vk. Okay, so I'm assuming that suppose vk is same as one of these, and you know what will happen. Suppose vk is same as this particular one, v2, and if I start with v2, and that will form a cycle, right? I'll just set it down. Then, so you see, I'm writing a uk, they are using the notations v, okay, doesn't matter. And this is vk. So, you suppose vk is same as v2. So, start with v2, you go up to here, and this is same as u2 again. So, that is forming a cycle, because this is connected like this. This is connected like this. So that will form a cycle, exactly that I will write. So then, if I start with V, okay, I'm starting with V, or you can start with any one of them. I'm starting with VI if you want to say. Then if I start with VI, or I may start with V also, doesn't matter. I can start with V also. So suppose I'm starting with V. After V, I have the n vertex VK. Then I have VK. VK is same as VI, and after VI I may continue. So VI, then EI, and dot 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 up to VK minus 1, and then up to EK minus 1, and then I'm reaching V again. So my idea is this: I'm starting from here. This is same as one of this. Suppose here going this way, this way, this way. I'm reaching V again. So this is a cycle from V to V. This is a cycle from V to V, and which will be a contradiction. Just you know the reason behind it. Okay, which contradicts that T is a tree. So what we have understood that this cannot be this another n vertex which is Vk, this Vk is not same as V1 or V2 or Vk minus 1 and so on. So it is completely different. This is a new vortex. So this is a completely new vortex. So therefore Vk is not same as Vi for any I belonging to 1, 2, 3, dot, 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 k minus 1. So Vk is not same as V1, Vk is not same as V2, dot, 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 Vk is not same as Vk minus 1. Therefore, the path, this path, I'm starting with U, which is V1, and then E1, V2, E2, dot, 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 Vk minus 1, Ek minus 1, V, and after V, I am adjoining the vortex Ek and adjoining the vortex Vk. So, P was up to here, here to here. I'm adjoining this also. Now I'm taking this path from U to Vk. And this is greater than the path P, greater in the sense the number of edges is more, and this again contradicts the fact that P is a path of maximal length. So there is, I am getting a path which has more length than P. So the path this, therefore the path this is therefore the path this has more length than P, which again contradicts the fact that P is a maximal path. So there cannot exist any another edge, right, from the vertex V. So therefore degree of V should exactly be equal to 1, because our assumption was wrong. Okay, and similarly we can show that degree of U is also 1. So thus there exists at least 2 vertices in T with degree 1. Understood my point? So what are the two characterization that we have seen now? So in a tree, there always exists a unique path between any two given pair of vertices, and secondly, in any tree with at least 2 vertices, there will exist at least 2 vertices of degree 1. So the converse of the theorem is not true. Converse of this theorem is not true. Converse is not true. That means if you have some graph with at least 2 vertices having degree 1, then it cannot be a tree. It may not be a tree. For example, you see this. Look at this graph. Just like a fish. So G is a graph which has at least, you can say there are 3 vertices of degree 1, so which has at least 2 vertices of degree 1, but G is not a tree. G is not a tree. Why? As G contains a cycle. As you can see a very big cycle here, right? Contains a cycle. So remember, the converse is not true. If it is a tree, then it will have at least 2 vertices of degree 1. But the converse is not true. That is, if it has 2 vertices of degree 1, it may not be a tree. Okay. So what is the third property of the tree, which I had explained in the last class? In any tree, the number of edges is 1 less than number of vertices. Let me just write down the statement at least. So what is the third theorem based on trees? This is the third one. Let T be a tree with n vertices. N is greater or equals to 1, definitely. Vertices. Then T has exactly n minus 1 edges. So this is another characterization, another property of a tree. That in any tree containing n vertices, the number of edges is exactly 1 less than the number of vertices. That means if number of vertices is n and that is a tree, then it has got n minus 1 edges. So I will not do the proof today because I will not be able to complete in time. So we'll do the proof of this theorem in the next class. Okay, so these are the 3 very important properties of a tree. So thank you. That's all for today. If you have any doubts, please ask.